My New Life in Equestria by MaxBeezy, Chapter 21, Epilogue. For most of his life, Matthew Williams always dreamed of what his perfect life would be. He thought of being in Hollywood, on the face of posters and magazines, starring roles in movies, winning awards, making money, all the benefits an individual such as him would ever want. Never in his weirdest or wildest dreams did he ever think that his perfect life would involve him being happily married to a beautiful earth pony from another dimension. But it did. It's been 4 months now since Applejack and Matt tied the knot. 4 months of being married, their love never leaving or dissipating. They were always in high spirits and wide smiles. He has become a full-time employee at Sweet Apple Acres, helping the family with their apple bucking and storing of the apples. Ever since that day where he discovered that he had become strong enough to kick apples off the trees, he joined up with Big Mac and Applejack during the days where they needed the extra help. For the time being, they would check on Matt's parents, visiting them on holidays like Christmas, or as Equestria would like to call it, Housewarming Eve. His mother and father were glad every time they came down to visit, receiving pictures of Matt and Applejack having fun in Ponyville with their friends. In turn, his parents would give them handmade sweaters and scarves, which came very much in handy when it would get cold on those winter nights in Ponyville. Twilight Sparkle and Big Macintosh announced their intentions to finally be married during a housewarming Eve party, which every pony and Matt were ecstatic over. Plans are underway to make sure their wedding is perfect, including making sure the ceremony will be unexpected villain-proof. Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash have continued their relationship, which has finally become public knowledge outside of their group of friends. Before it was just rumors, but once it was confirmed, every pony felt that it was a long time coming. Pinkie Pie has continued to help out at Sugar Cube Corner, serving the best pastries in all of Ponyville and possibly Equestria. Her handling of Applejack's and Matt's wedding has now turned her into the go-to pony for such occasions, which she is more than happy to oblige. Rarity and Donut Joe are still together, even when they spend much time apart when Rarity goes off to fashion shows getting all the attention that she deserves. One day during an event, Donut Joe surprised her in the hotel room she was staying at, wearing the tux that won her over and a box of freshly made donuts. It was the most romantic gesture she had ever received. Trixie has quit from her job as a hot and sexy Trixie and has reformed back into the great and powerful Trixie, making a living at becoming an entertainer for folds at their birthday parties, which she is paid good money for. She has also taken Donut Joe's advice and has become an aspiring actress. She is currently cast as a male lead in Transformers 4. Shining Armor and Cadence's marriage continues to be one of happiness, though every time they have too much hard cider, they wake up the next morning with Trixie at their side. Neither one of them is entirely sure how that happens, but in Trixie's case, she would like to continue it. Chrysalis and Celestia are still together and rule over Equestria during the day side by side as princess and queen. Luna would be glad for them more if they kept the noise of their activities down during the day while she tried to sleep. Lyra finally found the pony of her dreams. It was Spike. One Sunday spring morning, Matt stands in the kitchen, preparing breakfast for himself and Applejack. A morning meal of cereal, eggs, and a fruit salad bowl, topped with a healthy dose of apple juice. Applejack walks downstairs, watching her husband finish up the delicious-looking meal, but she is in less than high spirits. She had been waking up with nausea in the mornings, making her feel very ill. However, it disappears almost as soon as it starts. She hasn't told Matt yet, afraid that he might worry over nothing. Today she plans to go to see the doctor. Matt turns to see his beautiful bride watching him cook. "Good morning, AJ," he says with a welcoming smile. "I made eggs and a fruit salad. It looks delicious, but I'm not hungry." "Is everything okay?" He turns off the stove, giving her all his attention. "I don't want to worry you, but I've been not feeling well for the past couple of weeks." "What?" He goes to her, putting a hand on her shoulder. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't want you to panic. It's just a dizzy spell during the morning. It goes away after a couple of hours, and then I'm fine." "That sounds bad." He over-exaggerates. "You should go see a doctor." "I am. I'm going to Ponyville General right now. Okay, let me get my shoes on and... No, it's fine. It's probably just that time of year. The transition from winter to spring is always the hardest. Are you sure? Matt is hesitant to let her leave the house by herself. I really don't mind coming with you. I know you don't. She puts a hoof on his cheek. But I'll be fine. I'll be back before you know it. You promise? Cross my heart and hope to fly. She smiles, giving him a nice kiss on the lips. I love you, he says. I love you more. Applejack walks out the door, leaving Matt alone in the house. Reluctantly, he goes back to finishing his eggs. Matt spends the rest of the morning by himself, eating his breakfast, saving some leftovers, just in case Applejack gets her appetite back, and cleaning the house. Once he was done, he sat down on the couch, turning on the television. As he flipped through programs such as The Pony's Court and the last Con Mare film, he stops at SS Applewood, where Trixie is talking about her role in the upcoming Transformers sequel. In pure Trixie fashion, she boasted about her acting talent, not caring who challenged her. Matt chuckled at her, knowing that she will never fully change, and is all the better for it. It was then the events of the morning played out in his head. Nausea in the morning, he thought to himself. Dizzy spells. That sounds like morning sickness could... He goes through all the possible scenarios in his head. Only one makes sense, but he shakes it off. No, it's impossible. He tries to watch the television some more, but the thought still circles around in his head. He looks to the bookshelf, where Twilight's book sticks out like a sore thumb. The right moment, he says. Matt gets up and takes the book from his shelf. He goes to the kitchen table and slams the book down, opening to the first page. On it, a note from Twilight. Dear Matt, if you are reading this, then the time has come. Your chapter is on page 336. The information you are looking for is on page 358. I'm sorry for lying to you, and I hope that you can forgive me in time. Your good friend, Twilight Sparkle. P.S. If I am correct, I better be the first to know. Matt raises an eyebrow, confused about the note. Quickly he flips through the book to his chapter, and the page with the information he wants. His gaze falls on a subchapter, and his eyes widen. Genetic compatibility. Matt reads the chapter. During my studies on the subject, one thought crossed my mind. Being the only human in this world, I began to wonder if the subject would be genetically compatible with any other species on this planet. Using a sample of the subject's blood, I compared it with all the other specimens that I could get my hoofs on. How did she get my... He thinks back to the day when Spike attacked him. Twilight put the blood-soaked cotton balls into a bag. Oh, he continues reading. Upon further investigation, I found that the human's DNA contained 23 pairs of chromosomes, 46 in total. Comparing it to the other samples that I had, only one was a precise match. The human is genetically compatible with the pony species. Matt's jaw nearly drops to the floor upon reading that last sentence. While this was an exciting development, the question remained, if it is possible for a human to conceive a child with a pony host, will it be born a human baby or a foal? Thanks to additional research from my colleagues in Canterlot, the princesses, Matt smiled, we have discovered that while it will be rare for a human to impregnate a pony host, it is not out of the realm of possibility. If the two are in an active relationship, the likelihood that the male will become pregnant will get higher and higher. Holy shit! Matt exclaims under his breath. However, that does not solve the dilemma. Will the child be human or will it be a pony? On that, my colleagues and I cannot decide. On one hoof, it is possible that the resulting child could be a human, but on the other, it could be a pony and somewhere in between. It could very well be a combination of the two. While I lack in conclusive evidence, permit me to give you, the reader, my personal theory. With regular pony conceptions, it is always the mare's genetics that will ultimately decide just what the child will be, either a filly or a colt. My theory is that it will be no different with the human's essence. It is she who will carry it, and it is she who will decide what it will be. The human does not have our quicker than normal healing, nor is he as strong as the average pony. In the end, the pony genes will ultimately outweigh the humans, and the baby that will be born will be a foal. This is all theory, and I hope that one day we will have our proof." Matt freezes in place as he reads the end of the subchapter. Could it be? Could Applejack really be pregnant? The door behind him opens slowly, and Applejack walks in with hesitation and caution. Trouble adorns her face as she looks at her husband at the table, with his back turned. "Matt?" He turns to face her. He sees the look on her face. "Is everything all right?" he asks her. "Well, I'm not sick." She pauses. "It's just, She doesn't need to let one more word out. Matt knows just exactly what she's going to say. He reacts accordingly and appropriately. "Oh my God!" He rolls his eyes back and falls onto the floor with a loud thud. He has passed out from shock. Applejack rushes to his unconscious body. "Matt!" she yells, kneeling down, tapping him on the shoulder. "Matt, can you hear me?" She shakes him a few more times and extra rough. After a while, he slowly opens his eyes. "Oh my goodness, you scared me there." "Are you pregnant?" he asks her without anything close to a warning. She pauses. How did you know?" she confirms. "Okay, I'm going to pass out again." He's about to close his eyes. "Don't you dare, Mr. Apple," she tells him. His eyes snap open again. "How did you know?" Matt glances up at the book. Twilight's book. It said that we're genetically compatible if we're in an active intimate relationship, which we definitely are. "Are you mad?" Applejack's eyes begin to tear. Matt puts his hands on her cheeks, giving her a reassuring smile. "Mad? Mad is the farthest thing that I am feeling right now. Mad isn't even in my current hodgepodge of emotions." He laughs. Tears come from her eyes as she beams with happiness. "How far are you in?" "The doctor said that I just passed my first month." "What? How did we catch it so late?" "I don't know. We were so caught up with the holidays that I didn't realize that I hadn't menstruated." "Ah, la 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 la." Matt plucks his ears. "Too much info." "This is serious." "I know," he chuckles. "I'm just playing." He looks down at her stomach. Gently he puts his hand on it. She giggles, still ticklish. "What is it? What do you mean? Is it a human or a foal?" Applejack grins. "It's a foal." "Then Twilight was right. She said that your genes are stronger than mine." "Are you disappointed that your child will be a foal?" "What are you talking about? The foal will be yours just as much as mine. And disappointment? Heck no. Human babies are weird looking. Foals are adorable." They laugh. Applejack's laugh soon turns into sobs, tears of joy streaming from her face. Matt holds onto her tightly. "Hey, what's the matter?" he asks. "Nothing," she responds. "I'm just so happy." She rubs her head on his chest. "I always wondered what foal births will be like." "I suppose we'll find out soon enough." "What do we tell your parents?" "We'll tell them in due time, but leave the interdimensional travel to me for the time being. I don't know how it will affect the baby." "Deal," she chuckles. "I bet Twilight's going to love this. What do we tell the others? What do we tell the princess?" "They will be fine, like they always have been. Right now, there's nowhere I'd rather be than here with you." "On the cold wooden floor?" "Exactly." She agrees with him, holding on to him with a lovingly tight grip. He caresses her back, kissing the top of her head. She moves up and locks lips with him. It's a great kiss, a romantic kiss, one that will rank up as one of their favorites in life. The two do not know what future will be in store for them. They don't know whether the foal will be a filly or a colt. They haven't even thought about names or what it might look like. At this very moment, what they do know is that they have created life together, despite everything that had been told to them before this day, and that no matter what happens, they will always have each other. "AJ? "Yeah, Sugar Cube? I think I'm going to like it here."